Welcome everyone to the program. I am Adeshewa Josh, and it's time to take you through major headlines around the world. You know, Ukraine is still boiling over who is responsible for the crisis there. And the Western heads of state say they are considering fresh sanctions against Russia over its alleged failure to help de-escalate the crisis in Kiev. France, Germany, the US, Britain and Italy accuse Russia of disrespecting a deal to open dialogue with pro-Russian separatists in eastern Ukraine. Russia earlier accused the West of wanting to seize Ukraine, and Ukraine has, in the meantime, warned that it would consider any crossing into its territory by Russian troops as a military invasion. Moscow has tens of thousands of troops stationed along its side of the border with Ukraine, and pro-Russian separatists have been occupying key buildings in a dozen eastern towns, defying the central government in Kiev.
The US and Russia steps up a notch over events in eastern Ukraine. With strong words, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry called on Moscow to help defuse the crisis or face further sanctions.
The world has rightly judged that Prime Minister Yatsenyuk and the government of Ukraine are working in good faith. And the world, sadly, has rightly judged that Russia has put its faith in distraction, deception, and destabilization.
Pro-Russian separatists are occupying key buildings in a dozen eastern Ukrainian towns, defying the central government. The Geneva Agreement also says they must return home. But here, the militants retake a checkpoint in the city of Slaviansk after morning raids by Ukrainian commandos left at least 2 separatists dead. Russian President Vladimir Putin called on the U.S. to make Kiev stop the raids or face the consequences.
If indeed the current regime in Kiev has started to use army against the population within their country, then it is without any doubt a very serious crime against its own people.
Unrest like this began in Ukraine last November over whether the country should look towards Moscow or the West. Last month, Moscow annexed Ukraine's mainly ethnic Russian region of Crimea, a move which the West and Kiev said was illegal.